Hey, by now you know who I am, so I'm just gonna get right into this. I'm ranking all 7 Star Wars movies. Now, yes, I know, I have reviewed all of them, but I just feel like, just to make sure, I'd like to rank all of them in one video. Just so you know. And also, I did say in one of my previous videos where I ranked it one of the movies, although I've changed that now, just so you know. And you'll notice that from seeing this list. And just to make this list interesting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play in the background for each of the movies one of the parts of each score. Mainly a certain kind of score that I liked over the other ones. So I guess you can look forward to that during this video, and so that it's not just me talking and nothing else happening, okay? So, it's time to begin. And at number 7, we have none other than Star Wars The Phantom Menace. And here is the score. Okay, so, this music that you're hearing right now, that's the Duel of the Fates. It's the Duel of the Fates. And it's way better than the movie is, because it's interesting, it's fun, but that's not the point. My point is, what this movie really has is almost nothing. This movie's pretty boring, actually. Okay? Now, in this movie, there are, hardly any action scenes, and when they come, they're pretty boring. I mean, they're slow, they're way too choreographed, so they don't feel realistic, and that pod racing scene, which I did like when I was younger, I realize now is actually pretty boring because of the way it's shot. So yeah, this movie is pretty boring, hardly anything happens in it. It has Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks! And he's by far the worst Star Wars character, and they have him here more than in the other prequels. Not to mention, they mention midi-chlorians a lot. So, they completely underused Liam Neeson and Darth Maul. They could have used them much better. They're fine in the movie, but they could have been way better. This movie is the worst of the Star Wars movies, in my opinion, and quite a few people's. Probably the most disappointing movie ever. See ya, Episode 1. Oh, who am I kidding? It's The Phantom Menace. Don't call it Episode 1. Okay, so next. What we have next is, of course, Attack of the Clones. It's number 6 now. So, yeah, Attack of the Clones. Here's the score. Now, this is from Django's Escape. So, yeah. This movie I thought was a bit more entertaining than The Phantom Menace. I had a little more fun. I know there's more CGI in this one, but I find that the extra CGI parts in this movie are more entertaining than those in the previous one, so I like that. And I had a bit more fun than the first one for sure, but that doesn't make up for some really terrible dialogue, some really terrible acting, courtesy of Hayden Christensen, and, of course, an overload of CGI, and they give Yoda a lightsaber. He does not need one, he's awesome without it. Don't give Yoda a lightsaber. He's awesome anyway. So yeah, this is probably the most forgettable Star Wars movie. So forgettable that I'm just going to forget about it right now. Okay, next one. Okay, if you've seen my video for reviews of all, you probably know that this one's next. It is, of course, Revenge of the Sith at number 5. So this is Anakin versus Obi-Wan. That's the part of the score. And so this is also pretty good for the movie, possibly better than the movie. But anyway, what I really liked about this one is that they had better action, more consistent action, better dialogue. It's still pretty bad in some scenes, mainly those with Anakin and Padme, but it's definitely improved from the previous ones. And the origin for Darth Vader has some really terrible parts in the movie, but certain ones I did like, and that was cool. And that Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight at the end, though it was overlong, it was enjoyable at certain parts. And this music does play in it, and it's pretty good as well. So yeah, this is definitely the best of the prequels. It's still pretty bad, but it's the one that I can enjoy of the three, and that's why it's here. So, next, we have the weakest of the original trilogy. You already know what it is. It's Return of the Jedi. So, this is the Emperor's Throne Room part of the score. So this is definitely the weakest of the originals, but I still really enjoy it. It's still a well-made movie. It has some great parts to it, some really emotional parts. The Emperor is really awesome in it. Yoda's pretty good in those few scenes, like 2 scenes, 1 or 2 scenes he has. He's great in them though. The whole aspect of having a new Death Star is a little silly, but I can believe it, and especially that they don't actually make a full one, which makes sense now. So yeah, it's a good movie, and it gave us it gave us a green lightsaber, which is of course awesome. I love a green lightsaber, and it's a lot of enjoyment. The biggest problems are the Ewoks, which everybody complains about them. The reason why is because they just feel out of place in the whole Star Wars universe, and probably also Boba Fett's death, which is really short, really lame, and could have been way better. Nevertheless, though, it's a great movie. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad to watch it at any time. It's definitely still Star Wars. Anyway, next we have what is definitely the new Star Wars. So I just gave it away. Number 3 is The Force Awakens. Now this gave us this gave us Star Wars again, because the prequels just didn't feel like Star Wars. This totally did. It had the nostalgia. It had the perfect amount of fun, but also emotion. It had some great acting. It was really great to see some of our old characters back, and the new characters were really good as well. The villain is probably the second best villain in the Star Wars universe. Better than Darth Vader in a few of the movies, mainly. Definitely not what my number 1 pick is going to be. But still, Kylo Ren is a great villain to this movie, really human, and the movie's really enjoyable, really good. The reason why it's at number 3 and not higher is because a few of the parts of it I just felt were like, you know, it's mostly practical, so when I see the CGI bits, I know they're well animated and all, but they just don't feel as real as the practical effects they use. And as well as that, it's really fast-paced, and that's a good thing because it's entertaining, but it just feels a little too fast at times, because I just want to get to know all of this new stuff that's going on, and the fact that it's so fast is just taking away from it a little, but it's still a great movie. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is the score part, March of the Resistance. I'm not going to say exactly what that is, but by now everybody's seen this movie, so what does it matter? Okay, so, now that we're done with that part, it's time to get to my second pick, and you're probably going to know this as soon as the score starts. Try listening. I'll give you about 10 seconds to listen to the score, and then pause this video before those 10 seconds are over and see if you've guessed right. And that epic score is, of course, from the original Star Wars. The one that opened up an entire new universe to us. It gave us this great score, great characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Han Solo, Chewbacca, who is my favorite Star Wars character. Don't hate me. And for that reason, I just think that it invented an entirely new world that we could understand. It was well paced. It was well shot. It gave us the lightsaber. That's great. It's awesome. It was a really great adventure, really fun, but also not too fast-paced, so you could actually understand all of it. It had quite a few emotional bits, like, okay, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm just going to say there are emotional bits to this movie, like when Luke looks into the sunlight, even though nothing's actually happened. It's just with the score, how it's so awesome, and I'm sorry I can't play that score, but I can only choose one. So I hope you're happy with this one. It's the main title, Rebel Blockade Runner. So, hope you like that. And that's number 2. Great movie. One of my favorites of all time. But of course, we have to have a number 1. By now, you definitely know what it is. And I just think that there's no better team to have for the number 1. Because the number 1 is... Sorry. Number 1 is The Empire Strikes Back. It gave us the best movie to have Darth Vader, because Darth Vader is as evil as he'll ever be in this movie. It gave us Boba Fett. It gave us Yoda. It gave us Yoda. And it gave us Lando Calrissian, who's a really underrated Star Wars character. I hope they mention him again in the next few Star Wars movies to come. And so yeah, this is definitely the best one. It's a lot darker than the first one. It's much more emotionally involving. It has the best cinematic twist of all time, in my opinion. And the effects are a lot better. I think that these are the best effects of the series. Yes, even better than The Force Awakens. I still think that these effects hold up perfectly, and they're way better than anything else the franchise has offered. As well as that the movie itself is perfect. You have great action, you have a great story, great pacing, you have great tension, you have great soundtrack, great direction, great emotion, great villain, great hero, and Yoda! Yeah, so basically all of that. It's a great movie. It's definitely worth watching. It's my favorite sequel of all time. You should definitely check this out, no matter who you are, whether you've seen the other ones or not. It's definitely worth watching. It's the best Star Wars movie of all time. There's no question. I know some people disagree with me on that, but I'm sticking by it. This is by far the best Star Wars movie ever. Okay, so, now that you've heard all the scores, I'm going to do something interesting for the remaining bit of this video. I'm going to play all scores at the same time, and you can just see what it all sounds like, okay? So I'm just going to get them all ready, and I hope you can just stay on for a little. If not, you can just fast forward through this part if you want. I don't really mind, because I'd do it myself if I had the choice. But yeah, so just give me a second, and I'll get all the Star Wars themes playing. Starting from, of course, the worst to best, and you're gonna hear them all soon. So look forward. So just give me a bit of time now. Nearly there. Okay, nearly. Just about. Okay, time to start. Hope you're ready for the last bit. And I'm going to play this for like 20 seconds, then I'm going to turn this video off. Okay, here we go. First one on, Phantom Menace. Next, Attack the Clones. Next, Revenge of the Sith. Next, Return of the Jedi. Next we have from The Force Awakens. Now we bring in, of course, the original Star Wars, not calling it A New Hope. And, of course, the Imperial March from Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. And there we go! Epic mix! That is Star Wars for you people. Well, the prequels don't really count, but it's some great scores. Now I'm going to turn them off backwards. Hard to believe that Duel of the Fates is the last one to be there, but that's just the way I was getting rid of them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you don't agree with me, please comment. If you do agree with me, please tell me why you agree with me. And so I can promise you from now on, I'm not gonna do any other Star Wars videos that aren't to do with Rogue One. You know, the one that's coming out this year. So yeah, I'm not going to do anything else, and I'm going to do more reviews, of course, and I'm going to be introducing something new to my channel. I'm going to be introducing live videos, and I hope you look forward to that. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to start those, but I'm going to try to do it soon. I hope you look forward to them. So, as always, if you like these videos, please subscribe. If you don't like these videos, please subscribe. So basically, just, if anything happens, subscribe, really. If you watch this video, then subscribe. Just 'cause. I don't really need much of a reason. Just subscribe. Why subscribe? Just 'cause. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Star Wars reviews. I'll get more videos up soon. And, of course, as always, you don't have to go while you got Timo.